Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Life Multiply podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. If you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Sarah Hovar, and I run Fusion Brew with my dad.
Okay, with your dad, you said?
Yep.
Okay, cool, awesome. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. I am born and raised Bloomington resident. Well, since kindergarten, I went to Bloomington High School, and then I decided to make it my home as an adult.
Perfect, perfect. So, what inspired you to open the coffee shop? I'm so
Mm.
excited to hear this.
So growing up, when we would take vacations or when my dad would like go on business trips for work, we would always go to different coffee shops, and it kind of cultivated my love for that experience. Um, and then a lot of my dad's business trips would take him to California, which is where he then fell in love with bubble tea. Um, and so he came home and he introduced it to the family. We didn't receive it super well at first. Like it's a weird concept because he's never tried it before, and he was a little disappointed that we weren't like instantly in love with bubble tea like he was. But eventually we grew to love it. So then when we travel, we would try and find bubble tea shops because back then there weren't a whole lot around, and so we kept talking about the idea of opening up a coffee shop, and then we kind of talked about the idea of opening up a bubble tea and coffee shop. And so we finally just decided to give it a try. We wanted to introduce Bloomington-Normal to bubble tea because at that time there were no like dedicated bubble tea shops. The only bubble tea in town was a couple different restaurants. Um,
Okay.
Even in the surrounding area, I know Champaign had one restaurant that had bubble tea. Otherwise, to get it, you had to go to either St. Louis or Chicago. And so we thought it would be really fun to bring it here. Um,
Yeah.
and at that time too, there were only maybe three other coffee shops in town, and so we thought it would be also fun. It's crazy to think about. We thought it would be fun to to provide another space to give people options, um, and we really had a heart for providing a space for the community to come and do life, and so that's
Yeah.
that's why we did it. So 20 years
Yes.
later,
Yeah, okay, I was going to say, how long have you been open? 20
yeah.
years?
So this
Oh
December will be
my,
20 years.
that is awesome. That's a huge milestone
Yeah,
for sure.
it's 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 actually really surreal to think about. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I was just talking to my assistant manager yesterday. Like, I legitimately can remember the very first weekend we were open, and like we were full of people, and we didn't do any advertising. We did a soft opening, and just to see the space full of people that I didn't know, it was so just humbling and overwhelming. And to see now that we've made it 2 decades is
Yeah.
just it's mind
That's
blowing.
yeah, that's awesome. So can you share with us what a typical day in the life looks like as a coffee
Sure.
shop?
Um, Depending on the day, I get here either a little before 6 or a little before 7. Um, of course, every day is different.
Yeah.
It's a lot of checking in with my employees, um, checking in with my assistant manager to see what she needs from me. Um, I definitely spend a lot of time making drinks, like perfecting new recipes, new seasonal drinks, new seasonal menus. Um, I try to stay really attentive to how we're doing things as a shop to
Sure.
make sure that we're still keeping up our standards. Um, Definitely responding to a lot of emails.
Yeah.
Um, Maintaining our social media is a big part of my job.
Oh, you do
Um,
that on your
yeah,
own?
yeah, I
Oh,
do.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
um,
that's that's a lot of work.
it is. And then especially lately, we've been doing a lot of events, and so kind of planning what we're going to do for events. Like we do a lot of catering. We just did a teachers appreciation at Central Catholic, and then we have 4 festivals that we're going to be a part of this summer. So working on the menus for those and what we're going to do. So yeah, it's kind of an average day.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm sure that every day looks different for you.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense. So what has surprised, like, has anything surprised you when it comes to owning a coffee shop? Like something you didn't think would ever happen, or something that's a part of your day or a part of the business that maybe you didn't foresee when opening it? I'm sure
Yeah.
there's
Oh yeah, there's a ton. You know, honestly, I think I think the biggest thing that surprised me was the relationships. Like,
Okay.
we started to shop thinking like let's bring these drinks to town and be a space, but like to to see the reality of what that looks like for the community. I mean, like the relationships that have been formed here. We've had two marriages of sets of employees that had met while they worked here.
Oh, that's
Um, I
cool.
know and we went
I
to
love
the
that.
weddings, which is super fun.
Yeah,
Um, all of the proposals that have happened here, the first dates, like I love, love, love getting um, like wedding announcements in the mail from couples who like met here and now they're getting married.
that's
Um,
sweet.
and even just like, hearing people talk about like the conversations they've had in this space that have like changed their lives. Um,
Yeah,
the friendships, like former employees will constantly tell us like they've made lifelong friendships here. Um, and even myself, like I've met so many amazing people through this space that like I wouldn't have otherwise.
yeah.
Um, and one of my favorite things. So I just had a regular. Well, he was one of my very first regulars I remember having. He would come in 1 to 3 times a day because he. It was back when our original location was actually down the street. We were on the main level of what's now, I think it's the social. I think.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
The apartments.
And so he lived above there, so he could come in all the time. And he sent me a message a month ago because he lives in St. Louis, but anytime you're driving through, he always stops and he'll buy multiple drinks. He'll load up on all the merch that wasn't here the last time he came, and
That's
um, to realize that like we still have that special place in people's lives. Like I never expected that. Um,
yeah,
I think that's what really surprised me the most is the actual like real bonds that were created here.
yeah. So would you say, I know that you are very close to campus, so do you guys get more college students than you do just people who actually like live out in the community,
Sure.
or
Um, It's a
kind of?
good mix. I mean, obviously, like during the school year, we get a lot of students. Um, Unfortunately, there are a lot of people around town who stay away from campus during the school year. I mean, in my mind, that's the majority of the year, so that's kind of a bad reason to stay away.
Yeah,
But we still get a lot of people in town that come and support us throughout the year. Um, but it is fun to see the shift in the summertime when the students leave, but more of like the local students come in,
sure.
like all the younger kids will come in and hang out, and it's always fun
Yeah,
to see.
yeah. I know I spent a ton of time there when I was in
That's
when I was at ISU.
That's
So,
awesome.
and I worked at Avani's, so
Oh
we would
yeah.
just like walk over on our breaks and
Uh-huh.
grab coffee. So
Yep.
I have had tons of Fusion Brew coffee
And
in
we
my
still
life.
have a lot of Avani regulars too. Like
Oh, I'm
there's
sure you do.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Awesome. So, how has the local community shaped the journey of Fusion Brew? I mean, a huge milestone of being open for almost 20 years this year. So, can you just share a little bit on that?
Yeah. I mean obviously like I said, the students have a big role in that. I think it's really fun to have people come in and say like, oh my sister used to come in here all the time, or so
Oh,
and
yeah.
so told me that I have to come visit. It's like it's kind of like a constantly recycling legacy that has been left because we have that in people's lives and have such a positive impact that like they want to make sure whoever comes next also has a part. Um, and definitely the faculty support this a lot. Like, I mean, we just had a professor use us as an example for his business class, which is that does not hurt business.
No, that's
Um,
awesome.
and like we'll have a lot of like mentors come in and meet with our students, which is neat to see. Um, and I think we just really love being a space where like literally all ages come in. I mean, we have moms with infants all the way up to like retirees who just want a space to come and read, and that always kind of blows my mind a little bit. Like I love that they feel comfortable coming here too. That you don't have to be a college student because
Right.
we do have a pretty decent retiree age following, and I think and it's good too. I think for the students to see all ages of life come in, even like the parents. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a good I don't know, it's a good socialization to have all those different aspects of life coming over together.
Yeah. And I would say, so like just about your menu items in general. So like the bubble tea and like you have the boba, like you're
Mm-hmm.
still really the only coffee shop I believe that I can think of here in Bloomington-Normal that has that. Yes, I know there are some restaurants that serve that, but for you to be still pretty unique in that after all these years is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
So,
I mean there are two other bubble tea shops. One is a restaurant slash bubble tea shop. One is a
yeah.
dedicated bubble tea. But yeah, I think it was really important for us to offer both things because not everyone loves coffee or not everyone loves tea, and so yeah, I always laugh when people say, you know what, there's nothing for you to drink here. Like there's literally something for everyone. You just unless you only drink water, which we
Yeah.
have water. So yeah.
And then you recently did a remodel, is that correct?
Um, Incidentally, it was in December of 2019. Had we
Oh, okay.
known what was going to happen to the world, we would have maybe waited because we actually had to shut down for,
Oh,
I think it ended up being a whole month to remodel because it was pretty expensive. We redid everything.
yeah.
Um, so if we could have somehow waited until then the whole world shut down, that would have been great. But I suppose the flip side of that is we did restructure then some of our side room, which then incidentally allowed us the space we needed to be able to do grab and go. So people would come in and order and then go to the side and wait. So it kept that separation that was needed during
Yeah.
the shutdown. So it was weird timing, but it did actually work out really well.
Okay, cool. And then can you share what some of your favorite menu items are? And then also, I'm very curious, so are you coming up with the drink names and the drink recipes? I mean, I feel like you guys have some really cool, unique drinks. Are you coming up with all of those?
Yeah, I mean, so the stuff that's on the menu, obviously, we've been serving the whole time. But like all the seasonal stuff, but like I, I spend quite a bit of time trying to come up with things that work.
Yeah,
It's such a weird process too because like I might have this great idea for a drink, but it also has to work. So like it can't
sure.
be incredibly labor intensive for the employees where like they all hate me by the end of
Right.
that menu. Um, so yeah, I come up with the names and I come up with how they're gonna work. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat our fusion milk tea. That's our house milk tea.
Sure.
Um, it it's different than any of the other bubble tea drinks we have because it uses a unique tea that's only used for the fusion milk tea. Um, it is a really unique. I haven't found this tea many other places, so it's pretty cool. It just has like this sort of um, vanilla kind of taste to it, but
Okay.
otherwise it's really similar to a brown sugar milk tea, but it's just a little different. So that's of course like one of my ultimate favorites. Um, I love lavender season. We make
Okay.
um, we make a lavender milk tea where we infuse lavender buds with the tea. I make a house made lavender syrup for our lattes, which in my opinion is amazing.
Yeah.
Which I've kind of crafted that over the years too to have more flavor and not be as sweet, so that it's getting a super powerful sugar punch.
Yeah.
And of course, I love our coffee. Um, we use counterculture coffee. They've been around for 30 years, and they just roast really exceptional coffees. So that's my general go-to is a drip coffee, but you know sometimes I kind of need something a little fancy.
Sure, sure. And then you sell food items as well, correct?
Yeah, we don't have like meal type food options, but we have like a lot of pastries. We get a lot of stuff from Ivy Lane.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
yeah, they're great to work with, and so we're
I
kind
love
of at
that.
we're kind of at the whim of whatever they make that week. But then it's nice too because it changes things up.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have like muffins and cinnamon rolls, and we have a lot of gluten-free items. All of our gluten-free items we get from two different bakeries right now, but they're dedicated gluten-free facilities, so they're safe for anyone who has like strict gluten-free requirements, and most of them are also vegan too. So we have a lot to offer
Yeah.
everybody.
Awesome. You literally do have something for everyone.
We do, yeah.
So you've been in the community for, I mean, basically your whole life.
Yeah,
Can you share what you love about the Bloomington-Normal community?
yeah. I mean, what I really love is it's small enough that you run into people that you know a lot, but big enough that there's always someone new to meet. And there's so much to do. Um, I know people say a lot on your podcast, that there's nothing to do here. I mean, that that's saying that there's nothing to do here, but the
Yes.
reality is
Yes.
there's so much to do here,
Yes.
especially summertime. Like I just I, I love when the weather starts to get warm because that means there's lots of
Mhm.
things to do, and especially outside, which is always fun. You just you just have to look. Like it's not hard to look. There's a lot. So I think
Yeah, and I'm so excited that the farmers market finally started up outside
yes,
again. Those
yes,
were my
yeah,
favorites. So I'm
hmm
looking forward to that
yeah,
for sure.
definitely,
For sure.
definitely.
So where are your go-to places in town? What do you like to do?
Mm, well, I love our food scene. I think we have so many great restaurants. The Rock is one of our family favorites. They
Okay.
are amazing, amazing people. Um, and they just hit their 30th anniversary.
Okay.
I think
Awesome.
so. 25th or 30th. And the food is, I mean, classic. You can't beat it. Um, love Carl's. I mean, Carl's ice cream it's just a staple in town. Like I remember growing up walking. Well, I went to Bent Elementary, and so we would walk down to Carl's and get ice cream. You can't beat that.
What's your
Um,
favorite ice cream item?
okay, it's super weird, but I love the bubblegum ice cream.
Oh,
Even even
really?
as a grown up. Now I don't chew the gum, kind of grosses me out, but the base flavor of it is so good.
I will
Just
have to try that. That is sounds very intriguing.
I mean
Bubblegum ice cream.
it's perky, but that was
Okay.
my favorite growing up. I loved it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Of course we love the Townhouse. Um, we because growing up as a family too, we would always try different like restaurant restaurant what I'm looking for. Different types of food that we didn't have here. And so like we would literally drive to Champaign just to get Thai food. So when Town was open we were so excited. Really, really thrilled that they lasted the test as well. So Mama is amazing. They're definitely one of our favorites.
Yeah, there.
Um, then outside of food, um,
It's so hard because
I
there's so
know it
many
really
great
is. It
options.
really is. But I love going to Shakespeare Fest. Um,
Okay,
I've
yeah.
only been going for maybe 5 years, and I'm shocked it took me that long to start going because it is such a gem that we have here that like I don't know why more people don't. I mean, they're busy. It's not like no one's heard of it, but
Sure, sure.
like to hear that people have never been, it blows my mind because everything about it is amazing. The campus of Ewing Manor is so gorgeous, and to
Oh,
go and like eat a picnic before going to see Shakespeare is just it's amazing. It's so
I
fun.
will. I have not been. I will
Oh, you
have to look
have
at it.
to. I love it. We get season passes now and go to all three shows, and it's just I love it. It's so much fun.
Okay, I will have to put that on my radar.
And
So
I'm not even a big Shakespeare buff either. Like it doesn't even
just
matter. It's just
experience and
mhm.
it's fun.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Cool. So is there anything else you would like to share?
Um, I mean, yeah. I guess for those who don't know who we are, we're open 7 days a week. Um, definitely check out our social media because we're always posting like what drinks we're currently serving. Um, one one really helpful tip because I know that parking on campus is not amazing. Um, as of last summer, they opened up the parking lot behind our building, so you can actually come in and exit back there, which is super amazing.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's really helpful for anyone who's ever experienced trying to get out on Main Street. It's just nice to have both options.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I think probably
Yeah,
about it.
and I recommend Fusion Brew. My favorite item, I just had to share this, is the white chocolate symphony.
Mm,
I love that item. Like if I'm feeling like something sweet and it's so like it's pretty strong, like it's so good. So
it's
you
a good
you
one.
all did a great job on that one. I
Thank
have
you.
been doing that since probably for 10 years now. So so good.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and coming on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.